Good afternoon, student. Today I will continue with Pandas series. So today we'll discuss more about series. What are the different areas that we can do using series? So first of all, let's recall once what are the topic that we have discussed earlier. So we have discussed in the series areas how to create a series using Panda library, and within the series how we can create our index. Then we have discussed if we have an index array or index list, how we can use it. Just like here we can see index is there, a b c d e, and that only we are using. So good afternoon, Aryan. So if you have any doubt regarding yesterday's topic, last topic, then first of all ask, then we will continue today's topic. Till now we have covered that how we can create series in Panda. Then we have taken few examples that how we can create, just like it is a series, create a series, total number of medal to be own, this type of example. Few example we have covered in our topic. So here we can see that one single data is there, and that is to be used for all the series items. That means all index will be copied with the same value, this type of things. So now we are going to discuss few more topic here. So this is our first question, today's question, that create a series that store five people age. Assume the third person age is not given. Means what we have to use in this way. Suppose A is the first person, B is the second person, C third person, D is fourth, and E fifth person. And suppose in the question it is given that third person age is not given. So how we can create these things? So first of all we have to open the idle window. Within the idle window, now we have to work with the series. So at first we have to open the or import the pandas library, import pandas as pd, and then we have to import also numpy, because for various purpose we have to use the numpy library. So import numpy as np. These two library we have imported. We have the package that we have imported. Now next what we have to do, we have to go for this question, go as per this question. So question is there, create a series that store five people age. Assume the third person age is not given. So that means we have to create one series where five people age will store, and then we have to use those ages as a series. So first of all we will create the series, and before that let me take index as person name only. So I'm taking person equal to few name I'm storing. For example, just like Aryan, then Khushbu, then Puneet, then Anjula, then Suryans. So these are the name I'm storing here. Five names are there, but here I have only age of all four person. But suppose I do not have the age of Puneet. So in this case, how we can store these things, how we can create a series using these values. So for that purpose, suppose let me create one series using the age. I'm taking the name of the series as age equals to pd dot series. Within that I have to pass the values. So how I can pass? Simply inside the data, just like we can simply just normal way will write as a list. Within the list I will write, for example, Aryan age I'm taking 17, then Khushbu's 16, then I don't know the puntage. So for that purpose I can write here np dot nan. So what is nan? We know, not a number. The full form of nan is basically called not a number. So this part we can use not a number. So whenever any particular value will not be given. Next, suppose Anjula's age I'm storing as 16 and Sweden's age also I'm storing, for example, 17. So this is my series data, and then I have to use the index also. So for index, what I will use, I have the index as person name. So this is my index. Now this is my series is created. So in this way it will be displayed. We can see that the person name has came as index and their age has came like value or simply the data. This right side portion, right column, is called basically data. And what is the meaning of nan? Nan means basically when the value is not given, so we can use a nan. Nan means not a number basically. Actually it is a derived form of none. That means whenever just like any value is not given, then we can use the nan value, np dot nan. But we have to use this np, means here we have taken the numpy library. From this numpy library we are using np dot nan. This is the first one. We'll move to the second question. Few question will do today. Next, suppose this is another question. Create a list of 5 subject name and another list to index as ABCDE. So first of all, let me take the question in a different way. Let me write the question in a different way. Suppose we want to store 5 different subject name. 5 different subject name. We have to store swap to store 5 different subject name and teach and teacher's name, then convert the value into series object. So this is my question. So let's see how we can use it. So for this purpose, simply I will use one subject list and one teacher list. So here I'm taking the subject list. Suppose in the subject is a list type I'm taking here. So I'm taking first, I'm taking math, then I'm taking ETP, then I'm taking in earlier case Puneet, actually we had the value, with us, but here we it is the question is given that the third person value is not given, the third person age is not given. That is the question. Read the question carefully. Assume the third person age is not given. So when a value is not given, so how you can mention? You can just write 0, but I want to say that I don't know any value. 0 and 9, they are two different words. 0 means it is a value simply, but when we are using nan, it suggests that the value is not given, no value, nothing is there. Just like in SQL we have used the null. Null means what we suggest generally, nothing. That means nothing is stored, like that only. I guess you got your answer. Next, suppose 5 subject we have to store accounts, LCC I'm just writing, and PST for example. So these are my subject list. Now I will store a teacher list also. Inside the teacher list, I'm just taking the initial of teachers, SD, BJR, then I'm taking SM, then I'm taking PGW, then I'm taking PBD, for example. So these are my five subject teachers name, and these are my five subject. Now I want to convert into a list. Oh, sorry, series, Panda series. So here I want that the subject name will come as index and the teacher name will come as a value or data. So how we can create? So just I'm writing one series s equals to pt dot series within this. Now here I will show you with a different way. We see that the data is basically mentioned first, then the index. But in this case, I want to mention the index first. So that also I can mention. But here I have to write as index. This word we have used within the index. I want to pass the subject list. This is the first argument, and second argument is data. So within data, you will use the teacher name. So here you will use the teacher. So this is the thing. So S is created, and if we display, we'll get this one. We get this one. Math SD ETP PGR IPSN. In this way, it will get. Suppose if we do the series in another way, just like if you keep the data first, there is also no harm. If you keep the data first, I am now keeping the data first, so answer will be the same. Just I'm changing the position, but data will be the teacher name and index will be the subject name. So in this way also we can keep. Here also basically same output, there is no difference. So these are the two parameter. Also with that also we can pass the parameter data type, also d type, that already we have used. So these are the things that we can do inside a series. So whenever we are mentioning the data, if we do not mention this data word, this data argument name, so by default the first part will be treated as the data and second part will be treated as the index. So this is called this is how we can create series in different aspect, different manner. Now next I will do another example. I think in this point no doubt is there. So if you have any doubt, let me know once. If you have any question in this up to this part, if you have any doubt or any question, just let me know. Now next I will switch to another part within this series only. Now I will take another example, that suppose earlier we have used that index with the range function. Now suppose in a random, as a random example, I will create a list, create a series where uh, data will be generated by range function and index also. So let's take this type of example. Student, I'm just telling one thing. Listen to me very carefully. Every day after the class, as you can see in the classroom, I'm sharing you the practical concept, whatever I'm teaching here, and the question also I'm writing here. So you can write down the question and the answer you will get from the PDF. This is the thing. So let's continue with this. So what is the question here? Already we have discussed that how we can create a series object where index we can create through the range function. Now we'll create data and range both using the data and index both using range. So let's take few example. So first example I'm taking here, for example, s equal to, directly I'm writing here pd dot series. Within that I will use the range function. Within the range function I'll use one range 1 comma, for example, 10 comma 1. Yeah, Punit, I'm coming to your question. Let me finish this part. So range 1 comma 10 comma 1. This is my data, by default data. And for the value, for the index part also we have to create some index. So for index also, if we do not give index, what, let's see, range of, in bracket here I'm using 20, here I'm using 21, 30, and range 1. So what will come here, you can see this right part, as we know, right part will come as a index and left part will come as a data. So here, but suppose there are two things are there. Suppose if the range function values are mismatched, that means suppose for example if we use 2 here, so it is creating a step of 2, so less value will be generated, then it is mismatching, which means number of index and number of data should be same. So that's why it is creating one error. But that's why we have to remember, whenever we are using the range function for any purpose, either for index or for data, so the number of items should be same, otherwise it will cause error. The number of items should be same, otherwise it will cause error. So this is the thing. So this is how we can use the range function inside the series. Now, as you asked, Puneet, you were asking that if we write in all data nan and in single data any value, then what data type will come? The question, from your question, what I can understand, let me explain through one example. Check whether your query is solved or not. Just I'm writing one simple example. First, I'm taking one simple list. One list is equal to, I'm taking few nan, in a nan value. Remember how to write the nan: capital N, small a, capital N. So I'm taking copy, comma copy, few numbers I've taken, few inside the number, and last one, suppose I'm taking a last one, 5 only. So depending on your this value, the data type will be choose, because nan does not have any data type. Depending on your that particular value, any particular value, the data type will be chosen. And for index, suppose I am taking here idx equal to, suppose here I am taking one range function. Within the range function, here I am taking 1 to 6. So how many values it will generate? It will generate simply 5 values, 1 to 5, step 1. So these are my two value. Now I will use it for my series creation. Series equal to pd dot series. In this, first I'm passing my data, then I'm passing my index, IEEX index. So X is created. Now you can see. So depending on your this value, the data type will be chosen. That is 5. So 5 by default, we know that always it will be by default. Whenever we will not mention a data type, it will be converted into float 64. So if you can change the data type also, sorry, not this line. Suppose I'm showing some more point. Listen to here. Please see to this. Suppose if you want to mention the data type, so we can mention the data type also. In data type, we will write np dot int. So we can mention. Oh, sorry. Cannot convert float nan to integer. Actually, by default, it is converting all the values into float data type. So that's why we can mention the float. We have to mention as a float 32. So now it is not taking any. Okay, you can see the same output, but data type is changed. That is depending on our value. So based on your value only, data type will be changed. This is the thing. That was your answer. So I guess your query is solved. So if anybody has any more question, that let me know. After that, I will switch to next topic. Next topic means next example only. Now Let me show another example. These are random example, means how different way actually we can generate series. Even these are important for output based question. How we can generate the output based question. So how we can solve the output based question. So let me show another example here. S equal to, this is interesting one. See to this properly. PD dot series within bracket. I'm writing. Suppose I'm writing one range. A simple range function I'm using. Within range function I'm using 1 5 1. Simply one step value will be generated from 1 to 4, means 4 number will be generated. Now inside the index part, here I will use another very interesting things. Look into this one. Index equal to, within now box bracket, here I'm writing different thing. This first of all, look into this matter, what is happening. After that we'll discuss. For x in, within single quote, suppose I'm writing A B C D. Now what will happen? First of all, see the output, what is coming. After that we'll start discussion on it. See to this. So lot of question is coming in your mind, I guess. So how we can sort out these things? What is the meaning of this line, this particular line? So first of all, we can see this here Panda series is we are using. Within this, this is the data part. We can simply understand that from 1 to 5, step of 1, that means 1 2 3 4, the data is generated. But how this index is being generated? So already we have done looping structure in class 11. It is also a loop only, but it has a different approach actually. We know generally we write a loop using generally 2 3 lines of code. First of all, we write the for loop, under that something we print or we do something. So this within one line we are just writing a looping structure. So it is type of one shorthand looping structure that we can use for various purpose, for creation of any any type of list. So we can use this type of sort of mechanism. So how we can use these things? Just like, let me copy this part, index only. I want to show what is happening here. Just copying this part, I'm just taking it here. So now let me print the only index value. So you can see one list is generated by using this for loop. So these are the shorter version of for loop. So this type of output, this example is very important for output program, output based question. So concentrate on this, how it is working. So for x in ABCD, means first of all it is taking A, then it is taking B, then it is taking C, then it is taking D. One by one it is capturing the letter. Okay, so let me create some few more example so that it will be more easier to understand. Suppose I'm creating one list LSP equal to, within box bracket, here I'm writing I for I in range 2 comma, not 2, 0 comma 5 comma 1. So what will be the value of list? The value of list will be from 0 to 4, 0 1 2 3 4, 0 1 2 3 4. So what is happening here? Each value of I will be taken into the list. Each value of I will be taken into the list. That means it will capture the value and it will use the value, so that the value will be generated, and later on we are using it inside a series. So this is the concept, very important concept for output based program, very important concept for output based program. So try to remember this point. Okay, any doubt is there, let me know within this part. If any question is there, let me know, then I will discuss some other topic. As by writing index ABCD only we can get. Then what is the need for loop? No. Here, if we write only index is equal to ABCD, how you can get? Can you get ever? Never, never. If you are just asking that if we write only ABCD, so how it is possible? Is it ever possible? Never. So all time, then what will happen? Let's see. Let me show you. It is showing error because index here it will take a single value. Here it will take a single value. So obviously we have to create one list. We have to create one list. This is the thing. Okay. Okay. Here no matter of sorry Puneet, you were asking question. So obviously we have to answer. So question, without question nothing will be, anything will not be clear. So ask the question. It is a good habit, not a bad habit. So next the this is this part, up to this part I guess clear, point are clear. So next move to, let's move to one question more. Question I have written here. So let's see. Using already I have explained this part. Let's once do more. Using a range, create a data which has value from 10 to 20 in alternate basis and create an index for the data using a loop which has the value A to E. Just I was discussing here only. So let's see how we can do this part. Using range, create a data which has a value 10 to 20. So it is asking here we have to create a data. So let's first create one data only. So I'm taking dt equal to, so from range 10 to 20 we have to take the value, but it is the asking value in a step of 2. It is step of 2, so we have to take 21 so that all the number will be generated properly. So it is my data, and index also we have to take. So I'm taking idx equal to, what is the question in case of idx? Write a for loop which has the value A to E. Write a for loop which is the value A to E. So for that purpose, what we can write, it is a type of, again, looping structure, just like I in for, sorry, I for I in A to E, I in A to E, A B C D E. So how many value will be generated? You have to think it first. That is 10, 21, 22, 10 to 21, step of 2. So 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 and 20. That means 6 value will be generated. But here you can see index is given up to E. So that means we need F also as a for index. So I guess point is clear. Now let me create the series. S equal to pd dot series. In this will pass to data. So data is equal to dt, that is our own created value, and for index we'll use index is equal to idx. So our page will be generated in this way. Is this point is clear? If this point is clear to everybody? Okay. Now we'll do some more things. Okay. Aryan is there? Are you Aryan? Any question is there? Khushbu, any question is there? If you have any question, let me know. Okay. Now let's move to the next topic within this only. I'm taking this example, this one range only. So already we have generated this value. Simply if we simply print dt, so you can see this, it is coming range. Let me take one fresh one. Okay. So I'm taking one list, for example. List is equal to simple one list 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So these are the list. This is my list. I will create one series using this list, and suppose just one simple index I'm creating. So I am taking as index I equal to np dot arrange in bracket. I will use how many value we have to generate. We have to generate 5 value as a range. So 1 to 6 I'm taking, and step 1. So this I'm taking. So I have one index and as well as one data. So if we simply create this part, we know very well we are using series equals to within the series. If we pass L comma I, simply it will create a series. It will look like this. But suppose first of all I am explaining this question, the concept of this question. After that, based on this question, based on this concept, I will create one question. Then it will be more easy to understand what I am actually means to say. So suppose I have created this list and index, this series using this list and data, index and series I have created. Now next what I want to do, suppose if I want to change some value inside the data, if I want to change some value inside the data, so what we can do? So for that purpose, whenever we are taking any value, so that time we have to use general array concept. So for example, now let me create two array. For example, I'm creating one array a only using one method np dot array. Within this I'm taking few numbers 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and then we have to, it was under a box bracket. So we'll create one array using this. So this is my array. Now here I will do one thing, very interesting things is there. Simply if we print the array, it will look like an array. Now look into this one, this another example, pd dot series. Within this pd dot series, here I'm writing as per index, I'm writing only a. As per index, I'm passing the value a. But for data, here what value I will pass? Here I will pass a asterisk 2. So can anybody guess which type of value it will generate? Suppose, so let me know, write in comment what will be, which type of value it will generate, means how it will show the value. Just any idea? Just try to get the idea. Yeah, obviously twice. So that means what? It will look like this. The original array will come like normal index, and its double will come like its value or data. So this is the thing. So then today I'm just ending the session here only. I guess for today's session, I think no doubt is there. So again, I've been saying that whatever topics we are covering every day, I will share in your classroom that you can see, and the question also during the session I'm showing the questions. Based on the question I'm explaining. So if furthermore doubt will arise, obviously you can ask. So then I'm just ending the session here only. Thank you student.